No nic, někdo dodžnul. Asi se podíváme na nějaký video, ne? Ale na co se podíváme? Tady jsou jako, je tady hodně videí na Ukrajinu, no. Já nevím, jestli na to chceme dívat. Ale Nicolai vydal video taky. Books RIOT Games struggled to fix. Tak můžeme mrknout, že? Duffik bude mít aspoň nějaký content, vole. Brášku, založili jsme nový kanál, kde nalezneš stará, ale i nová lore videa. Neváhej a dávej odběr.
Everyone makes mistakes, including the developers of League of Legends, but they always fix their mistakes.
Why isn't that fixed?
Eventually. Today we take a look at some of the more interesting bugs that took a while to get fixed. But before we get into that, this video is sponsored by Porofessor. Porofessor is a genuinely
teďka používám, teď jsem si to stáhl.
Useful companion app for League of Legends, which keeps everything you need all in one place.
Zrovna dneska jsem si to stáhl.
That are every time a new patch comes out, I like to scroll to the very bottom and check out the bug fix section. Pretty self-explanatory what goes on in this section. However, sometimes Riot puts things in here that leave you thinking, wait, that was in the game the whole time? Here's some notable ones. Invisible Nunu. I've talked about this guy on the channel before, but in patch 8.18, Riot stated, fix the bug where he was sometimes invisible to enemies. But actually, this was a lie. The bug was still in the game.
What the f?
This bug lingered.
What the f?
This bug lingered for so long that even developers of the game would make memes about the bug. From what I can tell, it did actually get officially fixed sometime around February of 2020. That does mean, however, that the bug was in the game for almost 2 years.
I'll go fix it myself on Monday.
Patch 5.14. Syndra can no longer pick up Baron. Many players at the time read this not knowing that this was actually even possible. But yeah, there she goes. This bug kind of returned a few years later as she was able to just pick up the entire enemy Nexus in the Nexus Blitz game mode. In patch 4.9, Riot said, fix the bug where Flamespitter dealt less damage when on purple team. Flamespitter is Rumble's Q ability, and purple team refers to what red side is today. Riot gave no extra information on what this meant. Just, yeah, if you were playing Rumble earlier and you were on purple side, you did less damage than when you played on blue side. Our bad. But here's the craziest part. Almost 2 years ago, this user on Reddit suggested that this bug may actually still be in the game. It is well known that blue side has a slightly higher win rate than playing on red.
No, však blue side má jakoby větší range u kanóna, ne? Myslím, že. Nedávno se zjistilo, že jakoby vlastně asi celých 10 let, co lolko existuje, tak modrý kanon, nebo kanon v modrým týmu, měl větší range než ten na červené straně, no.
However, some champions have significant win rate discrepancies depending on which side they're on. In this Reddit post, the user points out that for the past few months, they've noticed that Rumble has the biggest discrepancy of them all, noting that there's a 6.8% difference between his blue
what the fuck? 7% rozdíl damage?
And red side win rates. The Redditor specifies that they did test to see if Rumble did less damage on one side over the other, and that wasn't the case. But they suggest that the issue may have something to do with AoE abilities, as every champion with a dramatically lower red side win rate has some sort of AoE ability. However, like I said, this post was made over 2 years ago, and they may have been onto something. Because to this day, Rumble still has the biggest win rate discrepancy depending on which side he plays on. As of making this video, he has a 52.6% win rate on blue side and a 47.1% win rate on red side. That is an over 5% difference. To put that into perspective, currently the highest win rate champion is Ahri, with 53.8%. And if Rumble is on blue side, he's pretty on par with that win rate. But on the flip side, the lowest win rate champion is Corki with a 45% win.
Cože, korky?
rate, meaning that if you play
Korky momentálně silné, ne?
a rumble on blue side, you're fine. But if you play on the red side, you're statistically playing one of the weakest champions in the game.
A ne ono, kanon měl asi tak o 60 víc range, no?
Now, I don't have an answer to what exactly is going on here, but it does make you think, did Riot maybe find a bug on that day that they were actually unable to fix, and it's been affecting the game to this day? Maybe. Let me know what you think. In patch 10.18, fixed a bug where the Rift Herald would sometimes do no damage to a turret. This bug was actually pretty prevalent for a while. It even happened in a professional game.
Where you have got to be so terrified of ever getting tagged by something from Showmaker. He will cash in on all this gold here. What is happening there?
Jebene, to je Damwon proti PSG. To je na Worlds, ne? Tady to.
Charge bugged out. Yeah, Shelly charge straight up bugged out. They're gonna pause.
Yeah.
But although the patch note stated that the bug was fixed, it actually still continued to pop up. Do you have a link? I thought I fixed this issue, but I suppose not. Said a Riot dev on Reddit. So, like I said, everyone makes mistakes, even Riot employees. Except, what if a bug isn't a mistake? What if it's a feature? Is what Riot August said when Zeri had a bug that would one-shot inhibitors and the Nexus if she built AP items. This was obviously a joke, but there are a few instances where bugs have genuinely become a feature of the champion. Like Riven takes advantage of animation cancelling. Players who play Riven use animation cancelling to create faster combos. Now this is technically not a bug on Riven. But in the past, when other champions have taken advantage of animation cancelling, Riot has declared it a bug and fixed it. It's happened to Zed multiple times. Meanwhile, there are a ton of animation cancelling tutorials for Riven on YouTube. Here's some angry Reddit post I found. Isn't it hilarious that Zed's animation cancelling is considered a bug, but Riven still exists? Why are bugs treated so differently for champs? Riven has animation cancels, it's a feature. Zed has an animation cancel that slightly speeds up his WX, disabled for a week and a half until it's fixed. But I'm not gonna argue how it works, because to be honest, Riven is annoying enough. It'd be even worse if champions like Zed and Yasuo were animation cancelling in every fight. In a similar boat, look at Master Yi for example. For years he's had a weird interaction with his meditate ability that causes him to take significantly less damage from a tower shot if he stops meditating right as he would get hit.
What the f... Ty vole? Jak to bylo přesně?
I got meditate bug. Very nice.
It's also not a secret. The popular Master Yi one-trick Cowsep has made multiple tutorials on how to consistently use this bug. But despite being in the game for years, it hasn't been fixed. So you could argue it's now a feature. But then, even further down the rabbit hole would be someone like the original Mordekaiser, who became well known in the game as being more bug than champion. On July 10th, 2017, a Mordekaiser main on Reddit made a post documenting over 180 bugs that were active on the champion. At what point do you just delete the champion and start making him from scratch? Well, that's exactly what they did. Except before reworking the champion, Mordekaiser actually had moments when he was a strong and useful champion despite his bugs. He was even played in professional games. And just a few months before making this post about the 180 bugs, the same user made a different post. This time documenting that during a professional match with Mordekaiser, 22 unique bugs happened on screen. A lot of these bugs are very minor and an average player wouldn't notice, but it just shows the scope of how buggy the old Mordekaiser was. The new Mordekaiser does have a handful of buggy interactions as well, but it doesn't come close to what he used to be. Also, I can't make a video about bugs without mentioning the client. For the longest time, the client was one of the buggiest things in the game. You'd think that this wasn't a billion-dollar company. There would constantly be posts listing how many bugs plagued the client. However, today I have to give credit, it's actually a lot better. It seems making the row select button smaller fixed everything. But it's not perfect. It still has its issues. Just a month ago, this guy made a post showing that his client wasn't showing the play button. Although, like this comment says, it's probably for the best. Now this video only features a handful of bugs and bug fixes, but obviously this isn't all of them. So let me know in the comments of anything you think I missed or should have mentioned. With that being said, thank you as always for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon.
For you, come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cool.